Hello again. So we're working on this bufflehead gunning decoy. We finished up the eye setting videos there. We've got it all carved now, and I have it sealed. I use straight lacquer, usually about 4 coats on a gunning bird to seal things up pretty good. Seal the bottom as well. And I've made my keel here. I like to use teak wood. I've been using that for the last little while. Teak is a really nice wood. It's pretty dense, makes a nice keel, and you don't really have to finish it with anything. You don't have to put any varathane, epoxy, lacquer, anything like that on it. I usually use a little bit of linseed oil from my oil paint sets. Just straight linseed oil, rub that in, let that dry, and then screw that on with a couple of nice brass screws. They're getting harder to find good brass screws today, but Spainauer is a supplier that carries those in just about anything that you would want. So we'll have a go at this, and notice that I've masked off the bill and the eyes as well. I don't like to get the stippling paste on those areas there. So this demonstration, we're going to show you how to stipple the bird for a gunning style nicely painted decoy. First, I'll show you all the different materials you're going to need for doing that. So you're going to need, first of all, you're going to need a modeling paste. I use Liquitex modeling paste. It's an acrylic product, and we'll thin that down a little bit with some, we can use matte varnish on that. I use the Josanya stuff, which is nice because it doesn't break down the product, and also my trusty water bottle that I have. You'll need some paper towels for cleaning the brush off, and I use a little ramekin for mixing up the paste, and a spoon. And the brushes I use are, I apply the stippling paste to the bird with just a coarse brush, and then the stippling brush is here. Now I don't remember where I got this one. Bought it many years ago, but it's this one here is a low Cornell 1150 stenciling brush. They do use them in for stenciling. There's a whole bunch of different sizes, bristle lengths and stuff, but this is a nice one. It's fairly big around. It's got nice stiff bristles on it, and it's perfectly flat on the end. And then for getting into tight areas and that, I use a few different little ones like this as well. For the masking, use the modeling masking tapes. They come in 2 different sizes. There's the thick one there, and then the thinner one. These are made by Tamaya, and they're used in the model airplane industry. You can go to any hobby store and find those, and those are that's the tape I use for all my masking, whether I'm airbrushing feathers, masking off the eye and the bill, that sort of thing. So really good thin product, low tack, that does a great job for masking. So now we'll just move on to mixing up the modeling paste and demo some of that. So I've dispensed a little bit of the modeling paste. You can see it's a nice creamy texture in that, and I'm just going to use a little bit of the varnish. You can use like a gloss medium or whatever you want, and I usually put in a little bit of the water as well. It's too thick right out of the jar to use it to do a nice job on the stippling. I find with the stippling, you can't do it in one coat either. You get a bit of a rough finish on it when you start, and when you do it the first time, and there'll be some voids in it as well. You'll get a pretty good coat, but you'll notice that it's not a nice even texture. So when you do this, when you let that dry, and you lightly sand that, and you do a second application, you'll see that it starts to even out. So I've never really gone, I don't believe I've done a third coat or anything, but it does get more even as you apply more layers. This stuff, if you don't use it all like in one sitting, you have to let it dry for for tomorrow. You can I'll just put it in a in a Ziploc bag and throw it in the fridge, and that keeps it for overnight, and you can come back, it won't be dried out or anything. You can use that tomorrow. Okay, so you'll want to do the one coat all in one sitting. You won't want to stop and then finish it tomorrow. You need to be able to even out the entire application as you go. I usually start under the tail area, and I just load up my small paintbrush, and I usually try to apply just a nice even coat in an area like that. Don't worry about making it too pretty or anything. Just get that on there. You have to work fairly quickly with this, and then take the stippling brush, and you're literally just going to be stippling it straight up and down. So I'm just stippling this, and what you want to do is you want to work that out. You're going to get some excess on the brush. It allows you to come up here and get the bottom of the rump area, but the idea is to work this out so it's very even as you can get it. And it goes a long ways, actually. So you want to go back, and you'll see that it's already starting to stiff up a bit. I always have paper towel on my lap so I can clean off any excess if there's too much. And but the idea here is to get a nice even application as you go. Don't leave any excess bits of material anywhere. If it goes over the edge, make sure you get the edge as well, and then just make that as even as you can. Make sure it's a nice uniform texture. Sometimes the brushes go sideways and it leaves brush marks, so make sure you go back over it. And you've only got a couple minutes to do that. Then back to your other brush, and then I'll probably just do the top of the tail here now. Just get it on there. The secret is to make sure that you can overlap the areas you just finished with the next area, so that you can blend and even out all the stippling as you go. Back over the edge. Make sure you get in all the little nooks and crannies too. Under the wings there. You want to kind of work that in if you have to. Sometimes it takes a little bit of force to get it to go where you want it. And then even it all out nice. So you don't want to let any edge dry out. You want to be able to work it wet. So that's kind of why I keep going. So that's pretty good and even all around there. Just double check that you didn't get any excess on the bottom. And then you just keep going. Just keep doing that. Push it right into all the nooks and crannies. Now if you have some issues, where you didn't quite get it all, you can always sand it out a little bit afterwards. But I've learned it's best to do a really good job when you do it the first time. Anyway, I'll keep on doing that, and I'll bring you back as we get up around the head.